So let's begin with our session. Please drink a little bit of water because I want you to be completely hydrated. Because right now the meditation will happen at the end, which is going to be an inner child healing meditation, which is very important. But right now also, I want you to, grab a bottle of water so that there are so many emotions. There is so much that is going to happen here in the thought process because you will think so many things about so many things while the session is going on. So I want you to be hydrated at this time. Okay, so let's begin. So right now, I have been telling you in detail that why spiritual awakening is important, what is an inner work, what are the pathways, and in the pathways we discussed in detail about self-love, about mirror work. Today, another one of the very important pathways of spiritual awakening is inner child or inner child healing. Probably, I think each one of you over here who is present here, they know and they understand this word inner child healing. What is it? But we do not understand the nitty-gritties of inner child healing. That what is inner child healing? Why is inner child healing required to us? Because it is not necessary that all of us require an inner child healing. Not everybody's inner child is hurt. So you have to understand when to go for an inner child healing, when not to go, or whether to go or not. And this will not only help you in that, there is another aspect to what I'm going to tell you today, because you all are parents, you all have children today. So I just don't want that whatever things that happened with you, you you know knowingly or unknowingly should not be doing it with your kids also. So there are certain things that I need you to remember. There are certain things that I need to open up today in front of you so that it helps you as a parent, and it helps you also in order to heal yourself up. Yeah. So number one, let's start with the definition of inner child, because there are so many that probably who do not know what exactly inner child is. So when we talk about inner child is that part of our psyche which is there inside of us, who needs a lot of nurturing, who needs a lot of care, who needs to be acknowledged, who needs to be loved, who needs to be consoled. And when this inner child is healed, when this inner child is happy, so what will happen is it will help you become a better adult in your lives. Now the question is, when does this inner child form? So our inner child forms at the age between 5 to 9 years. This is the age when our inner child is formed. These are the formative years, not only to our physical body, but to our inner child also, because at that time, our inner child is forming. And to our inner child, who is the best influence? That is only the parents who are the best influence at that time. At that time, the inner child of that child is very innocent. And at that time, we as children are formulating everything. The cognitive abilities are not yet developed. So, I'm repeating this. At that time, the cognitive abilities are not yet developed. So, what happens is when any child goes through a traumatic experience at that time, it gets into it, because at that time, the child is only absorbing, the child is only observing. So whatever the child is going to observe, whatever the child is going to absorb, it is going to go within that child. So, but the child, because it doesn't, he or she does not have any cognitive abilities developed, and that time what will happen is the child will not be able to process the information, in the sense that if he is gone through any traumatic experience, The child will not be able to comprehend that at that time. What will happen? He will just, or she will just shove it off somewhere in the subconscious mind. It will just move there automatically, because the child doesn't understand. So the child does not get the closure. And when the child does not get the closure of that circumstance, it just goes inside of the subconscious mind. Then when the child starts growing, when he becomes a teenager, when he becomes an adult, that is the time when the things start triggering him. And when the triggers happen, at that time what happens is the problems start. He starts facing the problem. Now the question is, we always feel that it is only the physical abuse which actually hurts the inner child. But more than the physical abuse, right now today, it is the mental and the emotional abuse that is the most dangerous kind of an abuse that can ever happen to you or to your children or to your inner child. That is, when we are talking about any kind of parental abuse, if the parents are abusing. So for example, I'll give you an example. If you have a parent, or if you've had a parent, or if you are like that, so if you have been abandoned, or if you can say that the child needed something out of you emotionally, maybe physical presence he needed, or maybe mentally he wanted you, and you were not at that time. So what will happen? It will create a feeling of abandonment in the child, which can feed into all his future relationships, which will impact all his relationships, all his friendships. What will happen is, this will also, if it starts extending to later periods also, it can also develop negative beliefs that we generally have. For example, I am bad, I am helpless, I am not worthy, I am nothing. Something like that happens. Now, what are the long term effects of this? I'll give you a very simple example so that you're able to understand and relate to it. For example, there is a child, probably, maybe it is you, maybe somebody else. There is a child, and he wants to spend time with his father, and his father promises the child that, okay, today I'm going to be there with you at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to spend time with you, I'm going to play with you. So that has registered in the child's mind that my dad is going to be there, and I'm going to play with that with my dad today, no matter what. Now, what has happened is, the dad gets busy, and the dad gets into an argument with somebody, and because of that, his mood is very bad. He comes late, and now the child is waiting for the parent, for the father to come and play, and he knows that the time has already gone when the dad promised, but still he keeps waiting there, thinking that the father is going to come. Now the father comes. Now the child does not know that he has entered in an argument with somebody, and because of that his mood is bad. Now what does the father do? He comes and he just lashes out his child. At that time, the father does not realize what sort of an impact it would create on a child. Now, what will the child think? Oh my God, I think I did something wrong to my dad, and that is the reason why my dad is behaving like that. And that is the reason that why my dad did not come on time to play with me, because I did something wrong. Because he's not able to comprehend anything, he's not able to understand it. So it will be there in his heart that maybe I was the one who did something wrong to him. He doesn't have the capability to understand that my father had an argument with his colleague, or with his senior boss, or anybody, and that is the reason why he came late, and that is the reason why he lashed out. Yes, the father was at fault, because he treated the child in a way that should not have happened. The father should have sat with him. But generally what happens is, when we are in a bad mood, we come and lash it out either on our children or on our spouses. This is what happens. And then if the child is so small between these years, 5 to 9 years, then that will enter into his or her heart. And it will be there. And the inner child starts getting hurt from there and then. Now, what will happen is when this child will grow up, he will have this feeling of aloofness. He will have this feeling of alienation. He will have this feeling of abandonment all the time. And then there will be certain triggers in his life that will crop up certain situations in his life whereby he will try to take care of the situation in a way he should not or he must not. He will start taking the decisions in a wrong way because his inner child is hurt, and those things that are there in his subconscious, they will start, coming out and resurfacing. And when they will resurface, when they will be there, it will be very painful for him because he will not understand, because the inner child did not understand at that time, the child did not understand at that time whatever traumatic experience he went through, because he was not able to process it at that time, so he just shoved it off. And this is what we generally do, be it in those formative years, 5 to 9 years of age, or maybe later on also, when our cognitive abilities are developing, when we are developing as the children. So when we are exposed to the trauma at such young age, it just sticks to us. And at that stage, your mind is information gathering mind, because it is gathering all the information. And now whatever information has been gathered from all over, what they will do is they will start taking note into it. And what will be the result? The result will be low self-esteem, emotional impairment, eating disorder, self-harm, poor body image. He might become a bully, victimhood mentality, addiction problems, and codependency issues. So these are all the things that actually happen between those years. And that is where our inner child starts getting hurt. Now, no way we are to blame our parents for that, because it is important to remember that our parents, they did their best what they could do at that very time, given them the level of information they had at that time, the level of education they had at that time, the level of emotional and mental maturity that they had at that time. So the more blame, the more resentment will we have towards the parents, it will intensify the pain of our own inner child inside. So we should not have any kind of a blame game as far as this is concerned. For example, when there were things that were happening with me, there was time when I started blaming my mom also for this. That she could have been my voice. She could have said things to the people. She could have managed so many things. So I used to even think that she was a woman. Could she not understand what I was going through? But then the reality dawned on me when I came into meditation, when the understanding came to me that no, she's not at fault, because whatever she could do at that time, she did it. She was alone. She was managing everything alone. She was scared. She didn't have any kind of a support. That is the reason, according to her level of understanding, this is what she could do and she could give me, and that's what she gave me. So I stopped blaming everybody in my life. Now, knowingly and unknowingly, what happens is, being the parents also, sometimes our childhood, actually, because it is being influenced by the parents, it is very important for us to understand that there are certain brackets of parenthood where we fall into. Now I'm going to tell you the categories. in what category the parents can come into through their behavior, and how does it affect or how does it impact the child or the inner child. So there are different categories of parents, and if you just try to relate yourself also, if you do you fall into that category, or when you were the child, did your parents fall into that category, so that you can relate yourself, so that you can relate your life, and then only the inner child healing work will start. Because you need to understand first that whether you went through that or not. So the first one is the critical parent. So when we talk about the critical parent, a critical parent, as the name suggests, the parent who keeps criticizing a child. So the parent, this kind of a parent will always think that my child cannot do anything right. They're constantly criticizing themselves. They're constantly criticizing and expecting a perfection from the child. Now, what will happen if you're constantly criticizing your child? You're constantly disapproving what the child is doing. It will lead to a very dissatisfying life for the child. That child will be very pessimistic. The child will feel that I cannot do anything right in this world. No matter how brilliant that child would be, but the child will always feel that I will not be able to do anything right, because I am not capable of doing anything right, because my parents say that I cannot and I am not capable of doing it. I'm not perfect according to my parents, and my parents need perfection. The second category is the abandoning parents, or the unavailable parents. There are parents who are unavailable because of certain reasons, but there are parents who are unavailable because they want to be unavailable, because they just don't want to be with the children. They are unable to understand the needs, the emotional, mental, physical needs of a child. Now what will happen is, this kind of a child who has these kind of parents, what will that child become? That child will always have a constant fear that my parents are going to abandon me. Now, when he will grow up, or when she will grow up, what will happen? He will keep clinging to a relationship, he will keep clinging to a person, even though that person is very toxic for that child. But still, he will keep clinging on to that person, and he will keep ignoring the flaws of that person. He will keep ignoring the abuse of that person, because he will think that this is the only person to whom I can get back to. He's the only person who loves me. So this false belief of love generates in that particular child, because he feels that everybody is going to leave me, so only one person, even if that person is abusive, he will keep holding the hand of that person. That no, I cannot leave. If he leaves me or she leaves me, then I am gone, I'm done for, my life is finished. Secondly, because they have gone through this with the parents, sometimes they also catch the tendency to threaten people to that they will abandon. For example, they are in a relationship, so they'll keep threatening their partner that I'm going to abandon you. Why? Because he or she has seen that abandonment throughout the life. Now he or she wants to see that what will happen if I abandon somebody, because that is what he has taken or she has taken throughout his life. This is another bracket. Another bracket is guilt tripping parents. Now, when we talk about the guilt tripping parents, these parents create a child who often feel guilty and who keep apologizing for all the things. They might not have done anything wrong, but still they will keep apologizing for things because they have been taught that you are the cause of the problem. You are the one who has created all the problems in your life. Now, these type of children, when they grow up, what will happen? Either they will use this guilt as a weapon, or they will use this guilt to manipulate the other people so that the other people also start feeling guilty. It's too much to process, I know. There is so much in this inner child healing, but I'm trying to give you all the information that I can so that you can also understand whether your inner child has gone through this or not. Then another set of parents is unreliable parents. Now, who are these unreliable parents? These are the parents who always will appear unreliable to the child, and due to which the child will always have trust issues, not only with them, but with each and everybody, with the entire world. There will be trust wounds in these type of children, or in these because their inner child is so hurt, the inner child does not trust anybody. They will always be afraid of getting hurt. They will not even trust their own selves. They will always keep questioning themselves. Are you doing it right? Even if they are trying to do something right, they will always keep questioning. No, you can't do. You cannot do this because you're not capable of doing it. Trust me, you're not capable of doing it. So there will be a self-talk whereby they will not even trust their own judgments. They will not even trust their own decisions. They will not be able to trust their own selves. So this is the kind of child we create. Then comes the neglectful parents. When we talk about the neglectful parents, they are the ones who neglect their child as parents. And this affects the self-worth of the children. So when it starts affecting their self-worth, these kind of children will feel that I am not good enough for anything. These kind of children will always find it difficult to let things go. Why? Because they don't know the next time they will see something nice. So they will not let go of anything. They'll just hang on to it, hold on to it. They will not let go of things very easily, be it, mostly in the negative things. They will not let go. They'll just keep holding on to it. Then comes the controlling parents. These set of parents are the one who just want to control the life of their children. And because they are controlling the life of children, these kind of children, because they get hurt, their inner child is hurt, they become the rebels. They want to flout the laws, because all these rules and regulation, it stifles them. They don't want to create that boundary. They don't want to be in that boundary, and they become the rebels. They say that no, whatever the parents are now saying, I'm going to go against it. Whatever the teachers are saying, I'm going to go against it. Because they get you can say they get a kick out of it, that okay, I'm doing this because it is going to give me a kick, because I'm going to flout the laws, whatever, because my parents are so controlling. Because we do not let the children breathe. We do not let the children understand what they are going through. We do not let the children take their own decisions as far as these controlling parents are concerned. Then comes the last but not the least, coddling parents. These type of parents are also very harmful for their children. Coddling parents are the ones who just keep spoiling their children and pampering their children by giving them too much by giving them whatever more than what they are supposed to get. Whatever they are demanding, they will just give it to them. They will just throw it on their platter and they say that, okay, you name it and I'll give it. So because of that, the child will have a tendency to become entitled, that okay, I'm entitled to all this. So they will have always that kingly behavior. They will always keep dominating. They will be a bully. They will dominate the other people. And if the other person goes against them, it will create a problem in their psyche and in their inner child. So these are the type of parents who actually knowingly, unknowingly, because of their own behavior, impacts the inner child of a person and impacts the child in a way. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to, if you have a pen or a paper, it will be good because that will be needed. So I'm going to tell you 25 signs of a wounded inner child. Okay. And you just have to listen to me and you have to say yes or no. Yes or no. Okay. You just have to write that. So if I say number one, so you will just say number one, yes. So you have to tell me, or you have to see that if the number is more than 10, because there are 24 or 25 signs I'm going to tell you. If there are more than 10 yes, that means the inner work in your life is very, very, very important and necessary, or inner child healing is very necessary. Okay. So I'm going to read down from my notes. So the 25 signs. So if you can write somewhere down, or maybe on the phone also, if you can just do it, so you'll be able to know where you stand. Okay. Number one, in the deepest part of me, I feel that there is something wrong with me. In the deepest part of me, I feel that there is something wrong with me. I always feel that there is something wrong going on with me only. There is something wrong. There is nothing right within me. Number two, I experience anxiety whenever contemplating doing something new. If there is something new that I'm going to go about, then I will always feel very anxious, very anxious. Number three, I am a people pleaser and I tend to lack a strong identity. Please be very honest with yourself. There's nobody who is judging you here, and there is nobody who is saying anything to you. Okay? This is for your own evaluation. You don't have to show it to anybody. You don't have to say it to anybody. You are just listening to me, and you're just saying yes or no, and this is for your own evaluation and analysis. So I'm repeating the third statement. I'm a people pleaser and I tend to lack a strong ability. Strong identity. Number four, I'm a rebel and I feel more alive when I am in conflict with others. Number five, I tend to hoard things and have trouble letting go. I keep hoarding things, thinking that, okay, tomorrow I will not get it, so I will keep hoarding it. Number six, I feel guilty standing up for myself. You just have to say yes or no in all these things, all these statements. Number seven, I feel inadequate as a man or a woman. I feel inadequate as a man or a woman. Number eight, I'm driven to always become a super achiever. Number nine, I consider myself a terrible sinner. I keep sinning. Number 10, I constantly criticize myself for being inadequate. Number 11, I am very rigid and perfectionist. Number 12, I have trouble starting and finishing things. Number 13, I can't express strong emotions such as anger or sadness. Number 14, I rarely get mad, but when I do, I become regretful. Next, I have sex when I don't really want to. Please give this answer honestly. I have sex when I don't really want to. I am ashamed of my body. I spend too much time looking at porns. I distrust everyone, including myself. I am an addict, or I have been addicted to something. I avoid conflict at all costs. I am afraid of people. I tend to avoid them. I feel more responsibility for others than for myself. I never felt close to one or both of my parents. My deepest fear is being abandoned. I struggle to say no. So, number three and number four. Number three is I am a people pleaser and tend to lack a strong identity. And number four is I am a rebel. I feel more alive when I'm in conflict with others. Now, I will give you a few seconds. You can just count the numbers and you will get the answer whether you require an inner child healing or not. You can just, till that time, you can. I hope the music is loud and clear.
Yes, Sharoo.
Okay. Drink a little bit of water and just take a comfortable place and so I'm starting with a meditation. This meditation provides the opportunity to meet and nurture your inner child. It is an ongoing healing process that will help you begin to release negative thoughts, patterns, and behaviors. You will begin to replace them with healthier ones that instill peace, love, truth, and happiness into your life. During the meditation, just notice your reactions to certain triggers so that you can improve changes to these reactions. As you continue to meditate, you will develop a compassionate bond with your inner child. This bond will help you love your inner child unconditionally. This progress will allow you to fully come to know and accept love. You will allow yourself to trust. You will let people in. You will learn to love yourself. You will understand who you really are. And you will make room for your soul path. Now, take a moment to mentally collect any unwanted thoughts, any worries. Just take a moment to mentally collect any unwanted thoughts, any worries. Imagine placing these thoughts inside of a box and closing the lid tightly. Put a lock on this box. Now gently close your eyes and take a moment to allow your body to relax. Release the tension in each area of your body. Take a deep breath into the count of 4. Just feel the breath as it moves into your body and fills your lungs. Just feel the breath as it moves out, releasing any anxiety. Just be mindful of any physical pain in your body. Follow the sound of your breathing as you start at the top of your head and work your way down your body. Just relax your forehead, your muscles, your mouth. Relax your neck and shoulders, hand and fingers. Just relax your legs, your feet, your toes. Before we meet with our inner child, let us call on Archangel Haniel, who will help with our emotions and trust our inner guide. Dear Archangel Haniel, thank you for guiding my path to healing my inner child and honoring myself and my feelings throughout the process. Just see the pale blue color of this energy as it touches the crown of your head, and just feel it surround your body. Just feel its warmth. Imagine yourself in a place of serenity, quiet, stillness. Now, with your mind's eye, see that the inner child has appeared in front of you. Just remember what it felt like to be that child. How old is this child? Notice the emotions on this child's face. Does the child look lonely, afraid? What emotions does the child make you feel? Your inner child needs to be loved, to be accepted. It needs to be protected, nourished, and supported. Your inner child needs to hear gentle words. Your inner child wants to feel affection and kindness. Take your inner child by the hands. Your inner child needs you to forgive yourself for all the negative things you have said in your heart. Just forgive yourself. Whatever things you said to yourself. Take in a deep breath of forgiveness. Exhale and release the negative way you see yourself. Say to your inner child, it's okay to feel abandoned. It's okay to want things to be different. It's okay to feel lonely. I am sorry for shunning you. I am sorry for not always listening to you. I see you. I hear you now. What else do you want to say? In this moment, you are the parent to your inner child. Just speak to your inner child for a moment. Take another deep breath and exhale. You are now ready to embrace the experiences that are buried within you. Your inner child holds a large oval mirror in front of you. Just look deep inside this mirror and see what they are showing you. Pay attention to every detail. Acknowledge what happened. Allow yourself to feel exactly how you felt at that time. Allow yourself to grieve for your inner child. Allow yourself to grieve for yourself. Just look into the mirror and be there for a while. Know that it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to cry. Because you did not do this on purpose. Just let the healing process begin. Take a moment to sit with your feelings. Let us continue healing with a breathing exercise that will balance your heart chakra and raise your vibration. Let's begin with this heart chakra affirmation out loud or silently. I give and receive unconditional love and compassion for my own well being and for others. Now sit with your inner child and together take a deep breath in and say this by holding your inner child's hand. Just breathe in forgiveness, love, and compassion. Release what you have to release. Breathe in happiness and trust. And release distrust and challenging relationships. Just release fear, loneliness, and sadness. Release judgment of yourself. Just see them floating above and away from you and your inner child. Just feel these swirls of black smoke going out of your body and the body of your inner child. Your inner child is now smiling The healing has begun. Just give your inner child a strong, loving hug. Wrap your arms around them in safety and say, I will be gentle with my words to myself. I will be kind to myself. I will remember to laugh. I will find the joy inside of me. I will hold on to that joy as long as I can each time. Your inner child is feeling happy and loved and worthy. Just be with your inner child for some more minutes. Just try to see what your inner child is telling you to do. It's time for you to leave your inner child. But now your inner child knows that it has you who will always love, who will always be happy with your inner child. By giving a hug, now try to bring yourself to the present moment. And whenever you are ready, you can come back to this physical awareness by giving a beautiful smile to your inner child and to yourself. Whenever you're ready, you can come back to this physical awareness. Hope you had a wonderful time. I'm sorry I had to shorten the meditation because I just saw the time. And The meditation was quite long. This guided meditation was quite long, so I had to shorten it a little bit. So, but whatever you went through in this meditation, I hope and I actually feel that you have started the healing that was required. You started healing your inner child. And if there's something that you want to say, much Dil Se, and I love you, Dil Se, and I
Me
love
too.
all of you, Dil Se. So I would I would feel that now after this time, after these sessions, your journey is going to be beautiful. I would hope that the angels are going to be there with all of you to guide you, to protect you, to love you, to give you everything that you have been asking for. But try to be honest with yourself, be honest with yourself, and start doing this process, and trust me, your life is going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Nobody can stop you from making your life beautiful. Yeah. So thank you, Gitika. Yes, I also love you, Dilse, and